Zigwarf back again, and today we are starting a brand new episode. Well, what I meant to say was series, which is called Green versus Red. Now, this is just a PvP map that I want to build using command blocks and stuff like that. And yeah, and I want to call it Green versus Red just because I'm not that original with ideas and stuff like that. So yeah. I may change the name later on, but for now it's going to be called Green versus Red. So this probably looks really ugly and stuff like that, but that's not the point at this point in time. So yeah, this cylinder, I just built it up in a time lapse. I'm going to show that right here. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. It took me quite a while to do that, but not super long actually. So let's move on. In this episode, we're gonna do the spawning sequence. I think I'm not super fluent with command block commands and stuff like that. I guess fluent is a good word for that. So I'll be looking stuff up frequently and all that kind of stuff, and I'll try and cut the video every time I need to look something up instead of yeah, and I'll try and be a little more prepared, but probably won't be. So yeah, basically this is the second attempt at a PvP map that I've done. My first one was pretty successful, but that was just something I wanted to play with my brother and cousins and things like that. So yeah, so the basis of this map is basically up here is the spawn area, right up here at the top of the map. It has to be because, well, how spawning, or before, there may be something new that changed this. Before, how spawning worked was that it would always be above ground, you know, the highest spot you can get to above the spawn point. Now I've set the world spawn to this block with a radius of 1, I think. So that's going to be like right in the middle here, which is great. I don't need to make such a big platform. But anyway, that's what it's going to be. This is just for access. It's not going to be like that. And then this whole contraption, this huge cylinder, is going to contain all the redstone that needs to be concealed in this area. And then down here, you can see this weird stuff. That's the beginning of the map, actually. So this is actually going to be where the map is. That's the redstone and everything else. Map, redstone. Yeah. The map's also going to have a bit of redstone, maybe. So, moving on, we're going to start with the spawn area. I have a few things listed here to set for every player that spawns in. So since the world, I'm going to have to get up here. Since the, get up, get out. Okay. First thing we're going to do is this. I don't want to keep trying that. Okay, so when a player spawns in, they'll spawn in on this block, or around maybe a 3x3 area. I don't know exactly, but it's right around here. It won't go, and they won't spawn in any further than these glass blocks right here. Okay, so when a player spawns in, I want to set a few things for the player forever, basically. Or, you know, make sure that the player's in the list of players that can play. We're going to use a lot of scoreboard stuff just to make sure that things work and make sure there can be spectators, and there are two different teams which will be teleported differently accordingly, and it'll be a point-based system and stuff like that. So we'll get into that later. The rules are going to be listed here. Plain basic signs, you know, for rules, no fancy stuff there. Spectator buttons up here, it may change. We'll figure that out later again. And then here you get to choose whether the players, whether they pick teams or they have random teams picked. So the way this will work, I'll also get into. I've already planned a certain way for the pick teams and the random teams. Not necessarily the random teams, but yeah, the pick teams, I've planned a thing. The random teams is pretty simple to do. I'm thinking of putting barrier blocks around the edge so that we don't, so that players don't go off, or maybe just like a dome of glass or something. Yeah. So, so let's start. When a player first comes into this world, we're going to want to set up a little loop here that changes their game mode to adventure mode if they're in a certain team. So, let's say, let's put that off for now, actually. What have we got here? Game mode 2 at A. Yeah, well, I've already done that. So it says, at A, which means all players, M, oh, I forgot what, M is equal to whatever game mode. So M is the game mode, argument. Is equal to blank. That means whatever game mode. It doesn't matter. So if any player has a game mode of whatever and a team of whatever or anything or nothing, I think that's nothing. Yeah, has a team of anything, set that player's game mode to game mode 2. So if I were to type in /scoreboard. Oops, I keep forgetting these things. Teams. Let's list the teams. Debug, okay, has one player. So I'm in team debug, right? And you can see that I'm, since there's only one player in it, I'm the only player online, so I have to be in team debug. So let's go ahead and empty it. Debug. Okay, so once I empty this team, I'm going to be kicked from the team, and I'm not going to have a team. So what it does is it sets my game mode to 2, or anyone's game mode to 2, when they don't have a team. Oh. Apparently it doesn't work that way. Repeat, always active. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Huh. Okay, that's really strange. Teams.join debug. That didn't work either. Huh, okay. I haven't set this up right, apparently. So wait, let me just explain what I'm going to set up real quick. I'll set it up off camera and then explain stuff. So yeah, so this doesn't seem to work. Let's try and change it. Debug. Okay, so now, if I were to go and join team debug, maybe update the block? No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I noticed that there were some glitches with command blocks. I never figured out. Repeat. It has to be on repeat. Conditional. Unconditional. Game mode 2. Yeah. As you can see, I don't use commands a lot, so yeah. It's not teams. Well, I really don't know. There was some kind of glitch that I was having trouble with. But anyway, I'll set that up off camera. Off camera. So what my thought was that we're going to have a neutral team in the spawn area so that people can't attack each other up here. There's not going to be PvP team friendly fire is going to be turned off. Yeah, it's going to be turned off, and everyone in the spawn area is going to be put on one team, basically, so that they can't hit each other at all. And then before a game, if someone wants to spectate, they'll hit the spectate button before they start all that team picking stuff. And then the way the teams will be decided is if someone's on this side or someone on this side of the team picking blah blah blah, they get... I can't explain this. So basically, when you hit the button, a countdown starts, and all the players respawn right in the middle here, and they get to choose which side to go on. That's the self-picking mechanism, so that everyone gets to choose where they want to go. It's a cooperative kind of thing. So if you already know your teams, you can do that. And then other than that, we do a random team thing, which will just randomly place people on a team according to, you know, the @r argument in a command block will pick, or that's a selector actually. The @r selector in a command block will pick a random player. And I can specify what radius it is. And I can also specify what team or a score of that player, so that if we have spectators, we can set them to a different score in a scoreboard, like a spectator score, which will be 1 for the spectators and 0 for all the other players. So that way, spectators will not be picked in the random team pick or the self-pick. They'll just be excluded from all the normal player things. So yeah, that's the plan. So for the spawn area, let's go ahead and talk about this. So this is going to be game mode. This is going to be the weather. That's just going to be on an infinite loop. All of this is. It's just going to keep going. Repeat, 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 repeat. And so this is going to change the weather to clear because we don't want it to rain at all. And then we're going to do regeneration. And then we're going to set up all the other command blocks. We're going to set up scores for each player, so that they have those values in their scoreboard data. You know, they'll all be set to 0. So yeah, oops, I'll get that done, and I'll come back and talk about it a bit and actually get it working before that. I don't want to really test it on camera too much. That's no fun in a video. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So there are a few things that have changed. For example, here there are only 3 command blocks, and they're very simple, just effect commands, basically. This one gives regeneration to anyone within a 20 block radius of a certain coordinate, which is 0, 107, 20, which is actually just above this. And then also it gives an effect of saturation to anyone on the map for 5 seconds. Basically, it's all in an infinite loop, so it's always just going to be there. Hunger is not going to play a role in this PvP map at all. And then it clears weather. Oops, that shouldn't have a space. Yeah, it's clearing weather. Okay, so and then before I started, I did some nonsense here. Let's see if I can replicate it. Game mode 2 @a. So what I did for the arguments earlier was m equals blank and team equals blank. So the reason why this didn't work was because this doesn't make any sense. Can I do this? No, I can't track. Okay, I can do this though. So this part, m equals blank, doesn't make any sense because that what I was trying to do was say the game mode, which is m, and the argument is m, is equal to any game mode, which is true without an argument. So even here, it doesn't care about the game mode. So that doesn't really work. It's not built in because it doesn't mean anything. It just can't be used. It doesn't make any sense. Other than that, I think the team would have worked, but then I had to change how I did this because of certain reasons that I'll explain. So over here, that's it. That's all the command blocks over here so far. There's a bunch of other stuff, so we're gonna have to... Oh no, I spelled that wrong. So we're gonna have to join a team called debug, and then we're gonna have to TP to 1051 1000, and this is our brand new spawn point. So this is where every player will spawn in the first time they join this world. And then after that, I've set their spawn point to the lobby platform, basically, which is where we were. And let me just go here and uncover these command blocks and explain what each and every one of them does. So the scoreboard, basically you add the player or join a player to the spawn team, which is the team all players will be in at the spawn area. And then this affects all players within a radius of 20, and the team is equal to no team. I think that's what this means. I mean, I was explaining earlier that the game mode thing was, I was trying to set it to any game mode. You can't have no game mode, you can't have any game mode. So yeah, in general, I just got that wrong. So this is saying join spawn if you're within 20 blocks of this command block and you're in no team. So first players and players who just joined this world for the first time will spawn here and then immediately join the spawn team. And then over here we have another argument that says another command that says clear all players within the 20 block radius of this command block, which I need to change. I need to change them all to just 1 point, a radius around 1 point instead of each and every command block. And then the team is equal to spawn. So now they've been set to now their team is spawn, and then their items are cleared, and then I don't know why their items are cleared. I mean, sometimes when you've played a world before with another user and then you upload it, that user is automatically it's weird, basically. The host of a game, like I started this world and I'm gonna put it on another computer and use a different account, you'll probably get the items that are in my inventory and inherit the position that I started at. Yeah. So the spawn point, okay, let's do this. Clear inventory, then the spawn point. Set all players spawn point within a radius of 20, and the team has to be spawn is equal to 0, 1, 0, 8, and 0, which is where we were at in our old spawn area, which is still going to be the lobby. And then we set the game mode to 2 of all players within a radius of 20, and the team spawn. So that's basically join team spawn, clear inventory, set spawn point, new spawn point, so you'll always respawn there, unless I change it with command blocks, which I will actually, because I have to change it during games. Set spawn point to that, 0, 1, 0, 8, 0, and then change the game mode to adventure mode, which is game mode 2. And this is only for players who are on the spawn team and within a 20 block radius of all these command blocks. And then finally teleport them to the spawn area, which is 0, 1, 0, 8, 0. So those are those commands. That's what they do. And that's basically our spawn sequence. So you join the game, you don't have any data on you, and then you are immediately thrown onto a spawn team and teleported, and your spawn is now set to the lobby so that there's not going to be any difficulty. You're not going to have to be thrown on the spawn team again and all that kind of stuff. So let's demonstrate. Scoreboard. Teams. Join. I'm going to join the spawn team. Or I can just leave teams. Oh, empty. Alright, I'll empty all the teams so that I'm not on any team. And watch what happens. Oops. Oh, okay. that doesn't work. Yeah, so now I emptied the team debug, which is the team I was on. So I wasn't on any team, the command block updated, and it immediately cleared my inventory, set my spawn, and teleported me over here to our lobby. So now this is our new spawn point. I can demonstrate that by killing myself. Pow. And there we go, right on the dot, no variation. And you will always spawn right on the dot when you set spawn. If you set world spawn, that's different. That'll give you like an area around a spot, and you'll randomly spawn in an area. And you can change that with the game rule, which I've already done. So yeah, and I think I already set the game rule. Oop, no, I'm in adventure mode. I completely forgot. Game mode. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So that's about what I've got done so far. I'm definitely going to do more. I am going to set up either the spectator bit or maybe both. I may, excuse me. I may set up the spectator bit and one of the pick team things. Like, I'm thinking random teams would be easier to set up because it's mainly just command blocks. The pick team would be also just command blocks, but it would be a lot more complicated because I have a whole bunch of ideas for how that's going to work. And I'll talk about that later. So we'll set that up in the next episode probably. We may not even. We may just start building the map. No, we're definitely going to set up this command thing. We're going to set the select team kind of thing, the random team pick. And then we're also going to set up the kit rooms just a little bit. So this PvP map's going to have kits, obviously. Each kit is also going to come with effects that it'll always have on. Like, you can... So you can do effects in two ways. I was thinking, one, by detecting... a certain player and always giving them an effect constantly, like what's happening right here. I got saturation. I don't know why I don't have regen. I forgot what I put for the regen command. 1 R X A Minecraft regen true. Oh, there we go. Oh, I must have been out of the radius. Oh. Yeah, I must have been out of the radius. So I also turned off the particle effects for those things because they're always on. Particle effects are annoying. So yeah, moving on. So like how we are using regen and saturation in those command blocks, we'd use the same thing, but according to score on a dummy objective, which I'll try to explain later. So we're going to set a dummy objective of like a kit, and then we're going to have different scores for each kit. 0 is going to be no kit, 1's going to be kit 1, 2, so on. 2 is going to be kit 2, and 3, and 4, and so on, like that. Up till 5, maybe 10 kits. I think 5 kits is a good amount. So then how we're going to handle that is we will check for scores for each individual player, which will tell what kit they have, and then we'll have to set a command block for each kit's effects individually, which will be fun. I think it's going to be fun. The cool thing about 1.9 command blocks is that you don't have to have a whole bunch of redstone like pistons or clocks or anything like that, because they automatically have the repeat forever kind of thing, the repeat setting. So they're always repeating, and we don't have to like have moving things or anything, which is awesome. It makes it so much easier. And there are a lot of glitches with redstone clocks, because sometimes if you log out and log back in, or there's something I did that completely messed it up, those clocks before. So yeah, and if they stop, you have to restart them manually. Or you can have restart command blocks, which are separate. So anyway, I've been talking a lot. I'm super excited about this, and so far it's been going so well. Sort of. We set up the spawn point today. That works, totally works. And soon we're going to change. I think we're going to do pick teams. No, we're going to do random teams next time. yeah, we're going to do random teams in the next episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.